Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's episode of Beware the Board, a horror podcast where we watch a randomly selected horror movie every week. I'm Bob.
And I'm Ben.
How have you been, Benjamin?
I mean, I've been okay. I'm tired, but we're doing great, I guess.
This is the first time we've recorded in a while.
Since last week.
Technically, yes. And I didn't see you for a couple days.
What do you mean technically?
Technically.
Like literally.
No, has it?
Yeah, we recorded last week.
I guess it would be. We recorded on the same day.
Yeah,
you're right. My bad. But I haven't seen you for a couple days, so I wanted to see any updates.
No. I don't think so. If there was something, I forgot about it. But sleep deprivation makes you really bad at forming memories.
That makes sense.
And for anyone who is not aware, I don't sleep.
No, rarely ever does Benjamin sleep.
I think we average, at best, 6 hours a day. At worst, maybe 2.
We have the exact opposite problem. I sleep 12 plus hours on accident, and you just don't sleep.
I function on a diet of self-hatred and caffeine.
That's true. Every time I see you're drinking something with caffeine in it, whether it's powdered like energy stuff or tea or coffee, you're gonna pass away one day from a heart attack.
We're all gonna pass away one day.
Well, we will all pass away one day.
So, anything new with you, Bob? I know you weren't at work Friday. Where were you?
Oh, okay. Well, that was
Tuesday.
Well, what?
No, that was Wednesday.
No, well, you know why I wasn't there Wednesday.
I know.
I don't want to talk about that on the podcast. That is not podcast material. No, Friday, Jesse, one of my roommates, got tickets to a concert for Christmas, and he was going to take his fiance. But let's just say Jesse and I have a very particular taste in music, and his fiance was not down. So he ended up taking me instead. It was awesome.
The particular taste, for anyone who's interested, is mostly bad.
No, that's not true. You're just wrong.
It's mostly
You're straight up
bad.
wrong. You literally said you liked the band we went and saw today.
They saw Death Cab for Cutie. That's why I'm saying mostly and not entirely.
Yeah, we saw Death Cab for Cutie. They were awesome live. It was super cool. I don't understand why my taste in music is bad.
Not objectively bad, because I can't say objectively, but Bob is really into early noughties
That's
Southwest emo.
Southwest?
No.
Jesus Christ, Midwest.
Midwest,
And also,
sorry.
it's not only early 2000s. I think some of these albums from like 2014, 2015. All right.
I think that makes it worse because it should have died in the noughties.
That's not true, man. Actually, one of these is from fucking last year. I have Mom Jean's new album, Sweet Tooth, on vinyl. It's really awesome. I think me and Jesse are going to go see them live again, too. It's going to be fun. Also, while we're still talking about music I like and things, while we were there, I bought a hoodie or a jacket, like a zip-up that I showed Ben already. But
No, you didn't show it to me. You just said, I need this for the movie. I get cold.
Oh, well,
and then
here, I'll
put
show it to
on
you
your-
now because I will let you see it because it's very cool.
Oh, all right.
I just handed it to him. You can have a look.
It's got stuff on it. I can't see what it is, but
Well, it's hard to see, But anyway.
it's Lady and the Tramp. Yeah, Lady and the Tramp.
What? Okay.
See, there's a lady and there's a tramp.
I guess. But no, I have a giant pink Mom Jeans flag hanging up in the back of my room, right? And when we were there, I wanted to get some merch for Death Cab.
I just realized that.
What?
I've been thinking for a long time you just had a big poster that says Mom Jeans because you're into, like, really unattractive jeans.
No, it's a band that I really like.
Yeah, I know. You've told me that before. I just didn't
Definitely
put two and two together.
definitely have told you that before. Anyhow, I have that giant pink Mom Jeans flag. And I was like, well, I'm going to see Death Cab. I want to get some merch. They had a giant quilted, like, pink and black blanket. It's like $85. I was this close to buying
It's
it.
probably for the best you didn't buy that because Piper would have eaten it.
Yes, that's fair, but I would have hung it up. It would have been a wall piece. I wouldn't have used it as an actual blanket. I probably would have hung it up next to the big-ass flag I have in the back. Because I don't
She still
need
might have
another
eaten
blanket.
it.
She would try, for sure. But yeah, that's the only interesting thing I got that happened recently.
All right.
Well, actually, never
What
mind.
was that?
Nothing else. It's nothing.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I was like, I don't want to mention that on the podcast.
No, it's not that I don't want to mention it on the podcast. It's just it's not that interesting.
Okay.
So I was like, I'm not going to waste anyone else's time with this one.
Oh, you know what is interesting?
What is that?
We got to see concept art for our cover art for our podcast.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I forgot about that. I didn't
Eventually,
forget.
that's happening.
Yeah, we got some concept art from our artist, one of my friends. I don't know. What day was that? Like Monday?
I think that was Monday or Wednesday.
Monday or Wednesday?
I think it was Wednesday.
Yeah, he got us some art to us for us to look at and give some notes and stuff. I think it'll look really cool when it's done because I think we gave some cool ideas to him, and I think
we gave him some bad ideas, but we eventually gave him enough that he got to somewhere.
I I guess that's fair.
I think that's a valid description of what happened.
But we will eventually have that art so we can be on all of the podcasting
All
platforms.
the places you get your podcasts.
Everywhere.
Not everywhere, but you know.
Yeah, most places where people get podcasts. A majority of them.
All right, well, you ready to choose a movie?
I mean, I'm never ready to choose a movie, but I will choose one.
Okay, I believe we discussed you're going to knock out horrifying pseudo-documentaries today.
I think you're
I think you're gonna knock
having
that out
a
of the park.
schizophrenic attack. I think you're, like, showing signs of schizophrenia because that never happened.
But you're going to do it anyways, right?
No,
Just get rid of it. It's been so bad for you so far.
it has. It's been actually, like, horrific.
Maybe this last one isn't so bad.
Like, the first one, horrifying because I'm scared of the specific thing that was encountered.
The Bay.
Yeah. And then the Poughkeepsie tapes, that's just a really fucked up movie.
But maybe this
See?
next one.
No, it's not.
Isn't
It's
that
going to be
bad.
bad. All three of your movies are going to be horrific times for me, and I don't know if I want to finish it or not. But also, my category has done... We haven't taken any of those movies yet.
Yeah, we just wait until the end.
No. I got to pick my category this time. I have to go with Parasites.
All right.
Because, like, I don't want to knock out a category yet, but also I don't want to have two categories down to one thing already. That defeats the purpose of having choices.
I mean,
If I eliminate them
no,
early.
you still have a choice. You chose to eliminate it early.
Yeah. No, I'm choosing Parasites.
All right. Do you need to know what spaces are available?
It's all three of them, right? I
Yeah.
can choose any of them.
Yeah.
Can I ask for not a hint, but some advice? My stomach feels really bad today. So,
I don't know, Mom.
If-
I honestly don't know.
and I really don't want to throw up again.
Well, I don't particularly want you to throw up again. I mean, I thought it was very funny, so maybe I do. I haven't decided yet. But
Interesting.
I think I've said this to you. Not sure if it's on the podcast. I'm a really bad judge of, like, what will push you too far.
Yeah.
I can usually figure out, like, hey, will Bob like this movie? Yes or no. I cannot figure out, like, what will make Bob cry or what will make Bob vomit or what will make Bob go, no. I have rough ideas, but
Yeah.
I can't tell you, like, hey, this one's worse or this one's better because I don't have issues with any of these.
Okay. I no longer want your advice or need your advice. I'm going to go with spot number 2.
2?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah. God, every time you ask me if I'm fucking sure, it makes me regret everything
Well-
I've ever done in my life.
Well, it'd throw you off if I didn't say, are you sure?
I know, but every time my soul just retches. It's
But
so
it also
scary.
gives you a chance because I'm saying, are you sure? Because it's your last chance. You can change your mind.
No, I'm not changing my mind. I'm down.
Are you
I'm
sure?
down to clown. Yeah.
Okay. We're watching Splinter.
If this is what I think it is, I've fucking heard of this. This is from like what, 2010?
No.
Like early 2000s?
Kind of.
Uh huh.
What do you think it is, Bob?
Uh huh.
What do you think it is?
This movie's gonna fucking freak me
what
out,
do you
man.
think it is, Bob?
I'm pretty sure there's a woman,
Uh-huh.
and pretty sure there's like amorphous gray things, right?
I don't know.
No. Ah. Ugh. Oh, I'm uncomfortable already. Okay.
All right.
Okay. Oh, you. Ooh.
So it's a 2008 movie
Nah, I thought so.
because you were like, what time period? All right. So the description. A young couple's plans for a nature trip go horribly awry.
Nothing could go bad in the woods.
What could go wrong?
Oh my God.
This people is why you don't go outside.
It's fair. It's very fair.
All right. It's an hour and 22 minutes long.
Mm-hmm.
It's rated R.
Good.
On IMDb, it's got a 6.1 out of 10.
Okay, not horrible.
Tomato meter, 76%.
People like it.
And an audience score of 49%.
Okay, people don't like it. People
Take back your people comment.
people think it's a movie, probably.
So, for awards,
Oh.
it has 7 wins and 1 nomination.
Okay.
The wins are for the Chainsaw Award to Justin Raleigh and Ozzy Alvarez for Best Makeup/Creature Effects. The Screamfest 2008 Festival Trophy to Toby Wilkins for Best Directing. The 2008 Screamfest Festival Trophy to David Michael Moorer for Best Editing. 2008 Screamfest Festival Trophy to Ozzy Alvarez for Best Makeup. 2008 Screamfest Festival Trophy to Elia Camiral for Best Musical Score. And the 2008 Screamfest Festival Trophy to Ted Krober and Kai Berry for Best Picture. And, because I used and too soon, 2008 Screamfest Festival Trophy to Quantum Creation FX for Best Special Effects.
It won a lot of awards the year it came out for festivals and stuff. It's pretty
It was
cool.
the same festival.
Yeah, one festival really liked this movie.
Yeah, it won 6 awards from one festival.
I mean, I don't know if that's telling of...
It just did well at that festival,
Yeah,
apparently.
that's interesting.
And then obviously got a Chainsaw Award, which we see a lot of on here.
Mm-hmm. Very cool.
So people to look out for in this film. Shea Wingham as Dennis Farrell. So you might know him as Carl Elway in American Hustle. Jill Wagner as Polly Watt. You might know her as Stephanie Braven and Braven. Or Kate Argent from Teen Wolf.
See, damn. This is 2008, so I was too young to have seen some of these like TV shows and stuff these people are in.
Bob, Teen Wolf ran from 2011 to 2017. Exactly when you were in the target age demographic.
Okay, Benjamin, but that doesn't mean I watched it.
I know, but you said you were too young.
Well, I assumed
I
that
give
Teen
you
Wolf
things-
came out before fucking 2008. I
Yes.
thought it came out before this movie.
But I give you things that they've been in, and like I basically go, hey, here are some actors that you might know from other things in this film. Those other things can be past, they can be current.
It never crossed my mind that
when this movie was happening.
that the movies that you were telling me they were in were from after. I hadn't really thought about it.
It's just whenever.
Yeah.
It's just big things they've been in. A lot of the times it's after, because sometimes we'll see actors. We saw fucking oh my god, what's her name? The woman who plays Laura Strode.
Oh, Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah, that was her first movie role. The roles I gave you, she was in, were after.
Oh, I guess I hadn't thought about it. It's just something that I hadn't comprehended.
Anyways, Paulo Costanzo as Seth Belzer. You might know him as Ruben in Road Trip, and Leor Boone in Designated Survivor. So Charles Baker as Blake Sherman Jr. He plays Skinny Pete from Breaking Bad.
Oh, see, I haven't seen Breaking Bad. I really want to watch it.
And finally, Rachel Curbs as Lacey Belle-Isle. She was Mandy in Heist.
Haven't seen that either.
So the film's directed by Toby Wilkins. He also directed The Grudge 3.
Oh, interesting.
Writer's Ian Shore. He wrote Infinite and Kai. Oh, no, he wrote Infinite. The other writer is Kai Berry. That's why
Okay.
it cut off. Kai Berry, who wrote Juko's Time Machine. I couldn't find the budget for this film, but I could find the box office,
Okay.
which was $478,931.
That is not a lot of money for
No,
a
it is
box
not.
office.
I think this is kind of a festival film.
I feel like I saw ads for this movie a shit ton.
I don't think you did.
Am I thinking of a different movie?
I think so. I'm pretty sure you're thinking of a different movie.
You know what movie I'm thinking of? It also starts with an S, but I can't remember the name of it. It's like an alien kind of movie where they like made the perfect. Or is that this movie?
I don't know. Is it this movie?
No, I don't think so. It's whatever. I'll find out. We'll
I know
watch
exactly
it.
what movie you're talking about.
Do you really?
Could be this movie.
You
could be something
motherfucker.
else.
Okay, whatever.
Country of origin, United States.
Okay.
Other names I could find.
Oh, I always like this section. It's always so interesting.
Espinosa, which is Brazil, and that means thorns.
Oh.
That was something I saw pretty commonly, is that like Splinter also translates to thorns in a lot of countries.
I don't think this is the movie I was thinking about, but now I'm more scared than I was before.
Why? Because
They're in a forest with thorns.
well, we're splinters.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently those roughly translate together in a lot of countries.
They make sense.
I believe this is Zenistes Thanato, which is Greek, and it means host of death.
That's a cool one.
That one is a cool one. Daisuku Obuzadedo, which is Japan's, and that is Dusk of the Dead.
That's also cool. Damn.
Esta Dentro de Ti, that's Mexico's, and it's Inside You. Is that the category? It's inside you?
No, the category is get the fuck out of me. Or stay the fuck out of me, whichever you prefer.
And then Parasita, which was Portugal's, and that's just
Parasite.
Tagline. I can't remember if I found this one on the poster, but I just thought it was fun. It will get under your skin.
See, I don't want it to, though. I would prefer if
but
it
maybe
didn't.
it will.
I would really prefer if it did not get under my skin.
All right, so the facts for this film. It was shot near Oklahoma City, Oklahoma.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right.
Wilkins has said the original script was a classic siege movie, and that the monster in this original script was more like generic. Wilkins, however, believed the script would work well with the idea for a parasitic monster he and his friends had been developing. So changed it up a little bit, and that's how we got this movie.
Awesome.
But yeah, big thing to note, most of this movie's effects are practical.
That'll be cool. I'm
So-
excited about that.
But will it make Bob vomit
Probably.
again?
Maybe.
2 weeks in a
We
row?
will see. This is the category I'm most worried about vomit. On God. This is like This is the one that is most likely to make me throw up, I think.
Well, we're about to find out because that's all I have for now.
I'm nervous, Benjamin. I'm so nervous.
Good.
Like
Get anxious.
We-
Get pumped.
Oh God. Okay. I think I'm ready to go watch this movie.
You ready for some Splinter?
No, I'm not. Master Splinter, maybe. If this was are we watching TMNT, the movie?
Yeah,
That's what it
it's
is.
About,
oh, man,
it's
I'm so
about
excited.
a human-sized rat.
Who trains a bunch of turtles? It's awesome.
They burst out of you like little.
Oh,
chest
that's ew! Come
bursters.
on,
They gnaw
man.
their way out.
Oh God, you're fucking mean. Okay, we're gonna watch this movie. Bye.
Oh wait.
What? No, I said bye.
No, I'm pausing you. Have you ever seen that whole like
What?
that torture thing where they put a rat on your
Ah!
stomach and then they put a bucket on
I know what you're
top,
talking. Oh, stop
and then
it!
They put
No.
something like hot on top of the bucket
Mm.
and it eats its way through.
Yeah, dude, that's fucked up.
That's what movie we're watching. Splinter.
That's really.
See you afterwards.
Oh,
Bye.
fuck you. And we're back.
Yeah, we're back from Splinter.
Splinter.
As always, we're gonna start with our no spoilers. So if you haven't
Um,
watched the movie yet, Bob, what'd you think?
Okay, I thought I knew what was going on going in.
Yeah,
And I did know what was going on, kinda.
kinda.
I understood. I got some stuff from the beginning. The opening to this movie,
It's a cold
wild.
open.
wild,
Yeah, it goes hard from the beginning.
which scared the fuck out of me because the last fucking movie we watched was so slow. And then
Gypsy
we come,
Tapes?
yeah, no, talking about the other one.
Oh, the one that's coming out tomorrow.
Yeah,
Check that out.
yeah, watch the one that comes out tomorrow. It's a good one.
I think that might be our best episode so far.
Maybe,
Maybe
mayhaps.
recording it was.
Yeah, it was a good recording.
I don't know how the episode will turn out. I haven't. listened
It'll
to
be
it
good.
yet.
I'm working on it.
All right, but yeah, beginning it goes hard fast, which is
Startling.
uncommon for a Parasite movie.
Yes, that's what was scary. Is I did like you read me the premise in my mind. I was like, okay, a couple goes camping in the woods. There's a parasite that has the name is Splinter, so of course it's a tree related thing.
Yeah, you were like trees. Yeah,
Trees. So I'm like, okay, maybe they run into like some creepy tree that like if it like splinters you, it infects you and like something bad happens.
okay, that's what your thoughts was.
That was my initial thoughts. I was like, okay, that seems like a premise, and I was kind of right, sorta.
Maybe not gonna get into that.
Not getting into it yet. All of the gore effects in this movie look fucking nuts.
So great.
Like, I know when we were, doing the pre-movie and stuff, you talked about all the awards they won for this movie.
Yeah.
And all of them for, like, makeup and special effects. And it fucking deserves it. It looks crazy.
It looks very good. I think the only creature effects we've seen on this podcast that are comparable so far is Itsy Bitsy.
Yeah.
Now, we've seen some pretty good makeup effects. For makeup effects, we've seen a lot of really good stuff like
Oh, yeah.
The Exorcist and
Yeah, all that stuff
things
looks
do
good.
really good makeup. But these are specifically, there's some creature stuff. And the
Yes.
creature stuff is very, very
It's
good.
so cool. It is so fucking cool.
Bob didn't like looking at it, but he
No.
was still like, that's still pretty cool, though.
I was literally in terror, just like, oh, that is so gross and disgusting. But also, oh my gosh, it's so cool.
But I'll say this because I've said it on the Itsy Bitsy thing. It's almost all practical effects. I only
Yeah.
saw one scene where I could identifiably
Yes.
be like, that's CGI.
And it was near the end of the movie.
It was near the end of the movie. I could tell it needed to be CGI.
It had to be. No way you could do that not in CGI.
So everything else is practical.
Yeah.
And the thing I'll say with practical creature effects is what I always say with practical creature effects is I think they look really cool
I like
because
'em.
I love practical effects. And if you like practical effects, go ahead and give this movie a watch. If you don't, they can sometimes look kind of goofy.
It looks a little goofy and cheesy, but if I suspend honestly, it's not suspending disbelief, it's believing in it. Just being like, okay, yeah, that's what's happening.
Yeah.
It's buying into the movie.
You have to appreciate it for all its positives and negatives.
Yeah. And I think this movie does such a good job with it. That I will say there is a part of the movie that we'll talk about eventually where I was stunned after it happened. Ben looked at me and I was like mouth wide open, no sound, just looking at the TV like, oh my God.
I don't know. There was kind of a high-pitched whining noise coming out of you like you were a dog.
Dude, it was fucking cool.
But yeah, I think it's really cool.
Yeah.
There's a limited amount of characters, but I think they do a good job
Yeah.
letting us get to know them.
I like the fact that this has a small cast. It really helps emphasize each individual character and their quirks and their uniqueness, I guess.
Yeah, because I think I gave it in the facts. It's kind of a siege movie, which means
Yeah.
people are in one area, kind of confined, and they're staying on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
And that means we get a lot of time with our limited cast as they try to, like, figure out the situation.
Yeah.
And a plot like that's totally reliant on how your cast acts as, like, individuals, but also how they problem solve. And
Oh, yeah.
overall, I didn't have problems with any of their problem solving, how fast it
No.
took them to figure things out.
No, not at all.
Even their characterizations, I felt like we got to know the characters more as time went on.
Yeah, for sure. And I don't want to spoil this, but I didn't like one of the characters, but it was still a good character.
Yeah, he's a good character. You don't have to like him as a person.
Yeah.
Bob didn't.
No.
I don't think he was a great person, but I think he had a good character arc.
Yeah, same. I can agree with that. While I do not like him, I think it was a good character,
Yeah.
and I think they did good things with that character.
But, I mean, I think I have anything else to say.
Without spoiling it, I have nothing else.
Yeah. I guess go check it out if you haven't already. It's a pretty short movie. I mean, it's an hour and 22 minutes, but the credits are like 5-10 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's really like an hour and 10.
It's not a long movie. Honestly, I'll wait till we get to recommendations and say anything else, because
But yeah, go
Yeah.
check it out. I think it's a good watch.
I agree.
It's octane enough where you're not going to be bored. But you can just
Oh,
put it
you know
on.
who'd like this movie? Ashley.
Well, you never
Maybe.
know.
I don't know.
All right. But I guess we'll go to the spoiler section now. So
Oh.
final warning.
Yeah.
All right.
Spoilers ahead.
So how you wanted to do this? You want me to break it down? Do the breakdown?
Yeah. Let's just start breaking it down, because I want to talk about the cold open.
All right.
'Cause
So
it scared the
that's
fuck
how
out
we'll
of
start.
me.
I thought it was a good cold open.
I did too, and I didn't expect it. It scared me.
It's just this gas station attendant, and we're going to call him I Love Bikinis because he has a
That's the name of
cat
the episode.
that
I
says,
love
I love
bikini.
bikinis. You can't even write love. It's just I heart bikinis.
Oh my god.
And he's just sitting there.
In
And
like a lawn chair outside of the gas station,
yeah,
chilling.
because he's in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
But you can hear something rustling in the bushes, and he's like, "Go on, get! I don't got
he's like
nothing for you."
eating a bag of chips and is like thinks it's some animal trying to steal food from him or something.
Well, it was an animal.
It was an animal, and I
Not-
guess it was trying to steal food from him.
Basically, thing jumps at him. We don't really see it. It jumps at him, and then it starts mauling his leg. And then we see brief jump cuts to it. It's very jumpy, cut-wise. It's a fucked up raccoon.
It's fucked up.
You can just see that it's kind of bleeding and gross and shit.
Yeah, it's like fur's all matted and like black and gross.
But
and
that's
it's
all
got
you
a bunch
can
of
see.
open sores and wounds all over it.
It just looks like it might have gotten like hit with a car or something.
Yeah, like roadkill,
But it's just gnawing at his leg.
tearing him up.
And then it cuts to a car driving down the road.
Yep.
And then when the car's driving around, they have like kind of some opening names, you know? But in between just this stuff of the car driving down the road, they flash scenes of like the guy who's been attacked.
Getting absolutely massacred by this raccoon.
Yeah, and stuff happening to him.
Yeah. It's pretty gross.
But yeah, then we go to our couple. So, do you remember their names?
Polly and Seth.
Wow, good for you.
Hey, listen, the only movie where you beat me with names was when we watched the movie from last week.
Oh, the one we're going to watch tomorrow?
The one that comes out tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, there's a reason I got names.
There is a reason for that. Exactly. I didn't remember any of those names.
But somehow that thing makes me know all of them.
Yeah, I don't know. Don't ask me.
All right. But yeah, Paulie and Seth, and they're this couple that is going camping. What did you
Yeah.
think of them?
I like them.
I thought they were a cute couple.
I thought so too. I think Seth is very funny. I laughed at him a lot 'cause
Yeah.
he's just a lovable buffoon of a man.
Bob says lovable buffoon. I'm going to be pretty candid here. Seth isn't all the way there on social skills,
No, but it's funny.
and it's very funny.
It's so funny.
because he's like a smart character,
Yeah.
and he's kind of aware of it, but he's very socially awkward, and
It's so good.
he doesn't have the best social nuances,
No.
and he doesn't seem to necessarily be aware of it, and it's done very well.
It is.
So it's not like frustrating or annoying. It's just kind of
funny. Every single time he says something, it lands, and I laugh, and I'm like, God damn it.
Very early on, you realize he's very interested in nature from like an academic perspective.
Oh yeah.
But not from a outdoorsy perspective.
Yeah, being in nature.
I mean, they're going camping, this couple, Paulie
Yeah.
and Seth,
For their anniversary.
for their anniversary. So they could very specifically, Paulie says, we made a deal. We're going camping. We're going to sleep under the stars, and then we're going to have anniversary sex.
Yes.
Which I think is very funny that she was like bribing him.
Well, she was like, I want to go camping, and you want anniversary sex. So let's go camping, and we'll have anniversary sex under the stars where
Yeah.
I want to be.
I-
And he's very reluctant and like, okay, I guess I'll go.
But he's like in khaki shorts and
he is
like
not prepared.
a collared shirt. Also, he has my hair.
He does. Yeah,
almost.
he has Ben's hair, but
It's-
brown and not dark. Yours is almost black, I would say.
Yeah. But, like, they're driving down the road at one point, and he starts talking about how old the trees are.
God, it's so funny.
And she's like, you see that tree there? How old do you think it is? Like, 300 years? And he's like, no, it's got to be only 100 years. And then she starts laughing at him, and he's like, oh, fine, I won't talk about trees anymore.
It's so funny.
But, yeah, I thought they had a good couple dynamic.
I do, too.
And I'm going to be honest, that's hard to do well.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, a couple that seems natural. Because, like, even in the beginning, like, their plans don't work out, right?
Yeah.
They want to go camping. They break the tent.
Well, not they. Polly does not break the tent. Seth breaks the tent, and I'm pretty sure it's on purpose.
I don't think he did it on
No.
purpose.
Were you looking at his face when he did it? Because he goes and snaps and goes, oops.
I'm going to be honest.
It's so fucking funny.
I don't think he did it on purpose. I think he just might be kind of physically incompetent.
It was so good. It
And
made me
looking
laugh.
at the rest of the film, I think I'm right there. I think he might be physically incompetent.
I mean, you're mostly right.
if it kind of looked like he did it on purpose, I'm going to chalk it up to he technically did do it on purpose because he's an actor.
Yeah, that's fair.
Character-wise, I don't think he did it on purpose. I think he's just really bad at setting up a tent.
That's, you know what? All right.
But, like, they break the tent so they can't sleep outside.
Yeah.
And they have to go sleep in a motel.
Seth is just like, please,
which-
let's just go to a motel.
Which
Please,
is
for
what
the love
he's
of
been
God.
wanting to do. And, like, one of those early demonstrations that I think they're acted well as a couple is in a scene like that, you kind of expect them to fight, and they do for a second, and then they just work it out.
Yeah.
Like, you can tell he's happy about sleeping in a motel. She's not. He at least picks up on that, and so he's like, hey, it'll be just like sleeping in a motel. There'll be bugs.
AC won't work. It'll be hot.
It'll be hot. And she finally is like, but there won't be sheets with holes in them. And
Yeah.
he's like, we'll keep looking until we find it. I don't know. It stood out to me because I'm not used to things feeling that natural.
Yeah. I don't know if the actors that played the couple in this movie had a prior relationship to filming this, because their chemistry is really good.
I doubt it. I'm just
Yeah.
going to chalk it up to good act.
Probably.
You know? It's pretty rare that you have, like, actors that are actually involved.
Yeah.
It
Well, I didn't
sometimes
mean like
happens.
involved. I meant like, do you think they knew each other before they made this movie?
I don't know about if they knew each other before they made this movie. They probably were friendly during.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a smaller production.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think this was in theaters.
Yeah. I don't know, actually.
Well, no, with that box office turnout,
Mm-hmm.
this was not in theaters. This was home video.
Probably.
$400,000.
Yeah.
Because it's a decent movie.
No, it's pretty
I'm
good.
gonna
Like,
say that
I
now.
liked it.
It's a decent movie. 2008, this would have done very well in 2008
Oh, yeah.
if it was in theaters. So it was not in theaters.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put that out there. But they start driving down the road again, looking for a motel,
Yeah.
and it's roughly around this point that we start cutting to these other people.
Oh, God.
It's a guy and a girl
Yeah.
whose names are
Do you not remember, seriously?
I don't remember. Bob,
Dennis
Dennis,
and Lacey.
And Lacey. Okay. So Dennis and Lacey. Dennis is like got short hair, and immediately Bob, what was your kind of
Bad vibes.
bad? Bob
I called bad vibes.
was just
I instantly
bad
called
vibes.
bad vibes. I was like, this guy gives me bad vibes.
And Lacey, what did you think was wrong with her at first?
So hold on. Don't make you're.
Let me describe her.
her.
Lacey's pale.
Very.
She's got red under her eyes.
Yep.
She looks sweaty, like her hair's kind of like stringy in the oily kind of sense.
Yeah.
But she just kind of looks like clammy.
They both just kind of look kind of disheveled.
He looks fine.
Well, he's real sweaty too. Like the back of his shirt is like completely
yeah,
covered
but,
in sweat.
like he's anxious.
Yeah. He's kind of jumpy too.
Yeah, but he looks fine, I think.
Mostly.
But she looks rough. And
yeah.
basically, their car breaks down in the middle of the road,
Yeah.
and they've now pushed it off the side of the road.
Yep.
And that's the last time we see him for a little bit. But Bob, what were your thoughts about?
So hold on.
Lacey?
Okay, so what we know. So at that point in the movie, all we know is there is a killer raccoon about.
Yes.
That is all. That's all we know about what is happening in this movie.
Rawr.
So at this point, I'm in my head. I'm thinking. My first initial thought was, "Oh, this is a parasite movie. She's got the parasite because she looks sick."
Mm-hmm.
I learned that is not true.
Yeah.
That was a false statement. Turns out she just is a drug addict
I
who
think-
has a very large
I think
problem.
I would. She looks like she's addicted to meth. And then
Yeah.
we learn, I think 5 minutes later, that she's addicted to something.
Something.
I think
Probably meth.
I think it's meth
because he mentions doing meth
later
like,
on.
yeah.
Bob, what's his name?
Dennis, you fucker.
Later on, Dennis says he was on a meth trip at one point. So
Yeah, a 5-day meth bender. God
that's
damn.
wild. How much meth do you have to have?
Not
to
that
be
much.
on a bender for 5
Not that
days?
much meth. Meth makes
Really?
you stay awake, yeah.
I know, but I assume you have to do a
You
lot
w-
of it
you
over a long
would,
period of time.
But you would just take like real big hits, I think.
right, no, I know. I conceptually get that makes you stay awake. I just meant like that's a lot of meth to have to keep taking over 5 days.
Yeah. I think it depends on how you're taking it too.
He must have been doing well for himself.
I mean, I don't want to get into what he was doing to get all that
Yeah.
to get all the money he was buying with meth.
But like that's
buying meth
a
with.
lot of money worth of meth to stay on a 5-day bender.
Oh yeah. Actually, I don't even know how expensive meth is, honestly.
I mean,
Spoiler, I've never bought meth before.
All I'm thinking is that scene from It's Always Sunny. Anyone's ever seen it? Where Dennis and Dee go to buy crack.
Oh my, that's so
and then
funny.
they pull out, what is it, like
$200.
Is it $200? I thought it
It's
was more than
$200.
that.
It goes up.
How much does it go up
the
to?
first time they pull out $200,
Yeah.
and he says 2 crack rocks, please.
They pull out a couple grand, I think, the next time, right?
Yeah, because because they're like 2 crack rocks, and they hit him $400. He goes, this isn't enough, and he goes, how much? $1,500. I think that's from the second episode they did on that one.
It's
where
something.
oh god,
That's when they try to get addicted for the first time. All right.
Anyway,
we're getting sidetracked.
yeah, it's a good show. Watch It's Always Sunny. I appreciate that show a lot.
That's half of Bob's personality, so
well, what's the other
it'll
half?
come out a lot. Well, we can't mention that on the show.
Guy, you motherfucker. Okay.
Musicals. He's fabulous.
I do. Listen, I was a theater major. What do you want?
Oh my god. All right.
I even fucking stage managed a musical.
I know. They don't, but I do.
Mm-hmm.
So not Dennis. Fuck.
His name is Dennis.
Seth
oh no,
and-
Seth. Okay.
Seth and Polly are
you
driving down the
you
road.
did it.
And they see this meth head on the side of the road.
Yeah.
It's fucking
I'm not gonna. tell you.
Lonnie? Lenny?
Close. Starts with an L and ends with a Y.
Lonnie?
Nope.
Laney?
No, close. That you're one letter off. I'm not telling you.
Lenny?
No, that's the character from
Lunny? Loney?
A Branch of Men.
Lonnie?
No, it's Lacey.
Oh, Lacey.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, so they see Lacey the meth head kind of on the road. She's kind of waving them down. And they stop.
Yeah.
And Seth's like, she doesn't look right. Maybe we should go.
Yeah,
And
me too.
While they're discussing it, here comes Dennis around the side of the car. He
Yeah.
knocks on the window, and they're like, hold on a second. We don't want anything.
Yeah, I think they say no, thank you, sir.
That's Seth.
Yeah.
And they pulls out a gun and knocks on the window.
So no, they have no choice.
So yeah, basically they're getting carjacked by Seth and Lacey. Not Dennis and Lacey.
Yes.
Sorry, Dennis and Lacey. And they get them into the car, and they start driving down the road again. And then they hit something.
Yeah, they run something over.
I have no clue what it is because it is fucked up.
I don't know either. It's some roadkill, some type of animal, assumedly, from what I can tell.
It looked like it got on the road, died there, and then they hit it.
Yeah.
So
And it looked like it'd been there for a couple days. It looks fucking foul.
fucked up.
This is also the first indication that we get that Lacey is completely out of her goddamn mind.
yeah, because they hit something, and she starts going on about it's something,
Oh God, what
I
is
forget
it?
what they call it.
God.
but she's saying some name, which is
Ginger,
her Ginger,
which I think is her cat or
dead
dog.
puppy.
It's a dead puppy. That's what it was.
Yeah, her dead puppy, her puppy that died.
Yeah.
And so, Polly's fixing the car
With Dennis. But
because it's her car,
Yeah.
and which I think is very funny because Dennis keeps trying to get Seth to do things like drive the car
Yeah.
or change the tire.
Mm-hmm.
Seth has no clue how to do
He
those
tells
things.
Seth to drive the car, and then Seth goes, "Well, that'll be a problem. I don't know how to drive stick." And you see Dennis like literally facepalm. He's like, "God damn you, motherfucker! Get in the car, Polly."
And it just keeps stacking up. And by
It's
the end,
so
Dennis is
funny.
just like, you're just fucking incompetent.
It's so good.
But Lacey gets the gun from Dennis because Dennis is helping change the tire.
Yeah, because whatever they ran over popped the tire
Yeah, somehow.
somehow.
Don't know how.
Some way.
And so she goes over with Seth to the roadkill.
Yeah,
because
to investigate
it's
what they
revealed
hit.
that Seth is a bio major
Yeah.
in college.
And the first thing Lacey asks him, well, actually, he's like, "I'm a medical student," and the first thing Lacey asks is, "Can you write prescriptions?" Like, come on, man.
Yeah, that's how you know.
Oh God.
But they walk over to the roadkill because she still thinks it's fucking Ginger.
Yeah, she's like, "It's my dead dog."
And, dude, this thing's like a pancake.
Oh, it's flat.
And she goes, save it.
Yeah, she's like yelling at Seth to save the
And
dog.
he's like, I think it's dead.
Yeah.
No, she points her gun at him. And so he's like, okay. And he kind of squats over and he kind of goes to touch it.
Oh.
And the thing's tail flops at him.
Yeah, it's like moving and groaning as he's moving in closer and closer
it's
to
kind
touch
of
it.
twitching and stuff.
It's so
The
gross.
tail flops at him quickly.
Yeah.
And so they run back to the car.
Lacey puts two shots in it.
Double taps it and then
Yeah.
runs to the car. Everyone else hops into the car. And you can tell there's this moment where Seth is thinking about running.
Yeah, he's like, can I get the fuck out of here?
Because obviously, but he sees his girlfriend's,
Yeah. And he's like,
with
I can't.
them. And he's like, I can't leave her.
Yeah.
Which, good.
Yeah.
Good behavior there. And even fucking Polly. Are you sure that's her name?
Yes, her name is Polly.
Okay. But Polly. Polly is like, I'm not leaving without him because they're telling her to drive.
Yeah.
So, couple goals. Don't leave your significant other in a hostage situation.
Yeah, don't do that. Bad idea.
But they get in the car and they're kind of like, what happened?
And, I mean, fucking Lacey just can't explain it.
Yeah.
She just keeps saying, Ginger. Like, she's,
She mentions it moved.
yeah, out of her mind.
Because she goes, Ginger attacked me with its tail.
Oh, this is something I wanted to talk about.
And he, Seth doesn't say anything.
So this is a cool thing that what is the word for? It's an interesting way. It's an interesting use of someone who is out of their mind on drugs.
Yeah.
In Lacey's situation, because Lacey saw what she saw, so did Seth. But when Dennis asked Lacey what happened, she's like, Ginger, and he's like, no, it's not your dead dog.
Yeah.
And he's like, when was the last time you had a hit? And she's like, it's been a day and a half.
And he's like, when I got off,
yeah.
I saw things for 2 days.
Yeah. And he asked Seth what happened, and Seth says nothing. And immediately that makes everyone so dismissive of what Polly is saying. Like, everyone's like, it couldn't have moved, it couldn't have happened. And Seth buys into it like, oh, I imagine that, and she also imagined that because she's high on drugs.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's thinking, I just freaked myself out. Because,
yes.
Fair enough, it's roadkill. Sometimes roadkill can still twitch.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he's just thinking that.
Yeah.
And she's like, it attacked us, which it did.
It did.
Spoiler, guys. It attacked him with its tail.
Yeah.
But I think he's just like, maybe I just imagine it because it was twitching first.
Yeah. I just think it's an interesting use of a character's flaw.
An unreliable narrator, essentially.
Yes, it's cool.
She's not narrating, but yeah, she's unreliable. And that's how she's kind of viewed.
Mm-hmm. It's very interesting.
I think she has some disconnect with reality.
Oh, yeah.
She does claim she's not seeing anything. I think she's right. I don't think she's seeing anything.
No, I don't think she's either. I just think that
I think she's
the situation they found themselves in is just so unbelievable that the other characters don't want to believe it because the high person saying it.
doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Because she's confused, though.
Mm-hmm.
That is for sure. She's definitely confused.
Yeah.
But yeah, they keep driving.
We skipped a little bit.
And their car has problems because we'll go back to that.
Okay.
Their car has problems because they poked the radiator and
yeah, so
the
they're
stuff's
leaking
flowing
coolant everywhere.
and so they pull into the gas station we see in the beginning.
Yep.
Now Bob said we missed something, and he's right.
Do we want to talk about that now or do you want to save it? Because I mean it doesn't matter to me.
I say we talk about it now.
Okay. So while they're changing the tire,
Why'd the tire pop, Bob?
because whatever is causing these animals, the raccoon specifically, to assault the man at the gas station,
Or that corpse on the ground to twitch.
or the corpse on the ground to twitch and attack them, are these like long, splinters,
Black splinters.
black splinters of something, wood, I assumedly, or some type of organic
Yeah, what did you think
plant-like
it was
material.
at this point? Did you think it was wood?
Yeah, it looks like wood. It still looked like wood,
I
but it
kinda
doesn't
think it
behave
looks like a
wood.
black kind of piece of metal splinter,
Yeah,
like
It-
black
it does.
fiberglass or something.
yeah. It does look
Maybe.
like that.
Because they're super sharp. and
They're
long.
super sharp and really long. Yeah,
I mean, I would say the smaller ones are pretty small.
yeah, but the big ones are
I'd say
fucking
maybe
huge.
a half or a fourth of an inch. But the longest ones we see in the movie are probably
Like
the size
this.
of my pointer finger. So I don't know. What'd you say? 2-3 inches?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
But apparently they're sharp and hard enough to punch through a tire.
and a fucking radiator on your car.
I didn't think about that. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah, it shredded the radiator when they ran over it.
Or at least poked a bunch of holes into it. 'Cause
Yeah.
it was dripping fast.
And I mean, we'll see later. Whenever the creature attacks people, it mauls them
Yeah.
with its like spikes, and they're fucking razor sharp and very, very dangerous.
But there's a hole in the tire,
Yeah,
and Polly changes it fine.
yeah.
Well, she undoes the lug nuts and stuff. And
Dennis
Dennis tells her, hands her the new tire and takes the old tire off.
Yep.
And when that happens, he gets a tiny little splinter in the,
in the
tip
tip
of
his
his
finger, and then he pulls it out, and then thinks nothing of it.
That's all for a little bit.
That's it.
But yeah, going back to the car.
Yeah.
They're driving down the road. They pull into this gas station.
Because their car's overheating because it's out of coolant.
Yeah. And basically, Lacey goes to use the bathroom because
Yep.
she's got to pee.
Mm-hmm.
She brings some Mentos with her.
Don't think that was Mentos, man.
I think those were Mentos.
Okay.
They come in a Mentos pack. Like it's a cylinder.
You know, people are pretty creative on how they hide their drugs, Ben.
Yeah, but not the meth head. She has no reason to hide it.
Mm.
Also,
I don't know.
here's my real reason. When she's going to the bathroom, Dennis stops her and says, I don't need you going screwy on me, and takes her purse specifically so she can't have drugs.
Well, I think it's so she can't leave.
Maybe, but he says
That was what I thought.
screwy. I thought he was trying to keep her from doing more drugs. 'Cause
Oh,
he's
really?
trying to get her clean.
Yeah, that's his goal.
So I'd assume you take someone's purse so
Yeah.
they don't have drugs in there, so they
But
can't take them.
I think the thing about him taking her purse, I guess that is one way to view it, but I thought it was to keep her from leaving. Because, I mean, she could just fuck off.
I mean, I guess, but, you know.
Because she seems very hesitant about everything that's going on.
She is, but
She does not seem comfortable. And I think,
she wasn't planning on this being like a carjacking or anything.
yeah, I mean, she even says whenever they pull them out of the car and he tells them to, or tells Seth and Polly to get back in, I thought we weren't taking hostages. And he says,
Yeah.
plans changed.
I think he was just trying to keep her from doing drugs. 'Cause
Maybe.
I don't think she could have left anyway. She could have walked, but
That's what I mean. She could have just fucked off.
he could have grabbed her.
And if she was like, you know, if he thinks she's being delirious and like seeing things, who knows what could have happened if she had her like, you know what I mean?
Anyways, I think it was a drug thing, but
Maybe
she goes to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Dennis and Polly go inside
to buy coolant for
to buy
the.
coolant because they haven't figured out there's holes in the radiator. Which I
I
would
don't think they ever figure that out.
No, they don't. But I would assume there's holes in there.
Yeah,
That's
or
me
there's just
personally.
a small leak that is slow, like already that has finally hit its limit.
But they go in the buy coolant and crackers.
Yeah, coolant and crackers.
I think one of the funniest scenes is Dennis is like, he turns to Seth, he's like, do you know how to pump gas?
God, it's so funny.
So Seth's pumping gas.
Yeah.
But Dennis and Polly go inside. There's no one there.
No.
So Dennis just starts eating some peanut M&Ms.
Yeah, peanut butter M&Ms. He starts ringing the bell trying to get someone to come
Somehow
up.
Bob
and,
recognized by the packaging alone, like the color.
I
and
really like
shape.
peanut butter M&Ms.
But they go back outside, and Lacey runs over because she really had to pee, and she broke into the bathroom because it was locked.
Yeah, she like banged on the door for a while trying to get in.
And we see the fucked up I Love Bikini Man from the beginning.
Oh God, man.
He's
Oh
oozing
my
like
God.
black shit, and he's got spikes coming out of him.
Mm-hmm. Do
And-
you want to know the worst part about this reveal for me?
Oh, what?
When she fucking pushes open the door, all you can see is the top of his head, and he literally goes, "Kill me." He's fucking alive.
Yeah,
That is so fucking brutal, dude.
but she runs away,
Of course.
and it's right when like kind of Dennis comes out of the store, and she starts freaking out. She's like, "There's a guy in the bathroom,"
Yeah.
and of course Dennis is like,
Of course there's a guy in the bathroom. Maybe that's where the attendant was.
"No, I think he accuses her for like freaking out again." For
Does
seeing
he?
things.
I thought he just was like, oh, that must have been where the dude was. He was in the bathroom.
Maybe, but then he's
He
like,
seemed pretty calm about the situation in the moment.
no, he's yelling at her, like telling her she's freaking out.
Mm.
Bob's like, is that what happened?
That's how, I guess, yeah. He does yell at her.
Freaking out for no
She's
reason.
well, it's not no reason.
Well, I know, but he just thought she saw something with the
Yeah.
roadkill. So, and while they're having this conversation, the bathroom dude charges her and slams into her.
Oh God.
And the cuts are kind of jumpy here.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it because like I get why they did it because it we talked about this during the movie. It mimics the way that the creature acts.
Yeah,
and
its
does
movements are a
things.
lot kind of jerky.
Yeah, and really erratic.
So the editing helps make that evident.
Yes.
From like a technical standpoint, I think they did it so they didn't have to show the creatures
I
too
agree
much.
with that, and I understand why, because especially practical, like, you'll see a lot more flaws if you get a lot of open shots
Well,
of
I was
it.
going to say practical, but also just for their budget.
Yeah,
When the creatures are very humanoid, they're primarily people in suits,
yeah.
and so they can't really show that with it looking good.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's some jumpy cuts, so it's hard to tell. But I think what happens is the creature slams into Lacey,
Yeah.
knocks over, her head hits like a pole so hard
Slams
it
into
breaks
it.
it off like an
Yeah.
electrical pole, like just one of the teeny ones you
Mhm.
wire stuff with at the gas station. She's dead.
Mega dead.
And then the thing slams into the hood of the car
Yeah.
and fucking dies.
Because Dennis shoots it a couple times
Yeah, he
Puts
shoots
some
it a
bolts in
couple times. And then everyone runs into the store
and locks the door.
and locks the door. So yeah, from this point on, it's kind of the siege. They're in the gas
Yeah,
station.
they're stuck in the gas station trying to find out how to get out, what's out there, how to solve this
Yeah.
predicament they found themselves in.
But two big things happen first.
Mm.
A, Polly tries to call the cops.
Yeah, fucking, oh my God. This is why I don't like Dennis. He's stupid.
He's not stupid.
He's not stupid, but like he does stuff that I just,
in the context of the situation he's found himself in, just does not make sense to me.
Basically, he sees Paulie calling the cops. He grabs the phone and he throws it.
Smashes it.
Yeah.
Makes it unusable.
Makes sense, though.
It makes sense for him to do that, but like from an outside perspective, oh my god.
From Bob's perspective, he's like, oh my God, you should have kept the phone.
Yeah.
From the perspective at the time, though, it makes sense.
Yeah. My problem is that I wouldn't have done that, and it makes me angry because it's fucking dumb.
Bob, you're not a meth head, so...
You don't know that.
Pretty sure.
Well, yeah.
Okay. So he breaks the phone. The other thing is, while he's walking around, Dennis, he sees that there's a camera.
Oh,
that
yeah.
gives you a feed of both, like, the inside of the store and the outside. And he sees that Lacey's arm's moving.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, she's alive.
Yep.
And so he goes to unlock the door and goes outside. And, of course, Seth is like, no!
You cannot fucking go out there.
And he's like, all right, we'll sit by the camera and see if the thing on the car moves. You go out and check on her.
Yeah.
So Dennis goes out there, starts stroking her head.
Yeah. Trying to see, like, talking to her, trying to see if she's actually alive.
And Paulie and Seth are fighting because Paulie's like, she's fucking crazy. She's dead as hell.
Definitely mega dead.
And Seth is like, well, gotta calm down. Most hostage situations end peacefully as long as the people remain calm. And Paulie starts talking about locking Dennis out.
Yeah. She's locking the door.
Seth's arguing with her. But then Paulie starts dragging Lacey's body over.
Dennis starts dragging Paulie's legs.
Oh.
Yeah.
Dennis starts dragging
Lacey's body over.
I'll get there eventually.
You'll figure it out.
But starts dragging her body over to bring her inside because he's like, she's alive.
Because one of her arms is moving.
Moving like a lot.
Yeah.
Flopping around. And, well, he gets almost there, and Paulie locks the door.
Because she's like, I'm not letting this motherfucker in here.
Yeah. And he starts yelling at her. He
And
looks
even
like,
Seth is yelling at her, open the door.
yeah, he looks like he's about to shoot her.
Yeah, he pulls out the gun and is counting down like 3, 2, 1, or I'm going to shoot you if you don't open
Seth
this door.
runs away, kind of jumps in front of her.
Yeah.
But right at this moment, Lacey grabs Seth's leg
Yep.
and starts trying to pull him down.
Yep.
Everyone freaks out. And at this point, Seth's unlocked the door, drags him in.
Oh, God.
And,
Where we meet first one of our first small friends.
yeah, and when they do this, Lacey's hand gets halfway chopped off by the door because they slam it so hard. And it chops off her hand halfway through.
Yeah.
So it's just the first 2 fingers and the thumb.
Yeah, it's your index finger, your middle finger, and your thumb.
And this thing that gets chopped off, it's now inside, and it starts standing.
Yeah.
It falls over a couple times, but it stands for a second.
And starts chasing them.
No, it doesn't. It just kind of stands there.
Oh,
and oozes black goo.
my bad. I forgot that this one.
Yeah,
this one's
Bob.
not as evil
Don't
as
say
the
this
other
one. You're
one.
gonna spoil it.
Oh. We're in the spoiler section anyway.
I know, but we gotta walk through this. But yeah, this one just it stands on 3 legs and it keeps falling over.
Yeah.
Which I'm noting now because I'll talk about it later. But it's oozing black goo, and this is where Seth pulls his "I'm a bio major" card.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's whatever it is. He's like, I think it's a fungus.
Or a mold is what he says.
Or a mold.
Or I think he says bacteria as well.
And the black goo, he thinks, is the fungus metastasizing it.
Yeah, it's basically what is the?
It's essentially eating it.
Yeah, it's using the black goo to break down something and eat it, basically.
Well, it's stealing like the nutrients from the cells.
Yeah.
And so that's why it's going after living things. It's trying to infect them with the splinters.
So that it can eat them.
It infects them. It starts eating them alive. As they're being eaten, they move and will try and hunt down other things.
Yep.
But they end up crushing it with a bag of
Charcoal.
After this, Lacey's now fully moving, and we get this reveal because she starts banging her head on the wall.
Oh God, this is my problem with this movie. It's not a problem. This is my thing with this movie.
Did it gross you out?
It's gross. It's such a disgusting movie, but in like not the best.
A good way.
In a good way. Like with every impact of Lacey's face against the glass, her face gets more and more fucked up.
Oh yeah.
And by the end of it, it's a puffy, gross, bloody mess.
Mm-hmm.
And it just, like, it looks nuts.
Yeah, and of course, like, Dennis is just staring at her.
It's so, like, I don't want to say heartbreaking, but it's definitely sad.
That's definitely sad. Because,
Yeah.
like, it's his dead girlfriend, and now she's, like, her corpse is beating itself senselessly.
Yeah.
I gotta say, good portrayal of, like, an undead thing. Because it's not beating with its hands like a human would.
No.
It's beating with its head.
Oh, this is something I wanted to talk about that I like kind of glossed over. When we first see the gas station man, I Heart Bikinis hat man, the way they portray this thing using his body is very akin to something that I've seen in like Korean zombie shows.
Yeah.
Or a Korean zombie show, All of Us Are Dead. The portrayal of zombies in that is very similar to the way these creatures are portrayed because, like, it doesn't give a fuck about your anatomy or how you're supposed to move. This bitch just cracks your bones and makes you move the way it wants to.
Yeah.
And it's fucking grody.
I have some points to talk about later.
Okay.
We'll get to those after we do the description. But yeah, you're right. The thing moves people's bodies weird.
In ways that it should not be able to do.
Yeah.
And it's really, really cool. And it looks really, really good. And also, something we haven't really talked about. The sound in this movie is pretty gnarly. Like, all the bone crunching.
Good sound effects.
Like, crushing and, like, the...
Cracking.
Just the body noises are really good.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, they run to the back because Zombie Lacey's banging her head on the wall.
Can't go out the front door.
They go out. They try to go out the back door. That's locked up tight.
Yeah.
They even pop one of the doors off the hinges and realize there's another door that's locked. But yeah, they come up with this brilliant plan to
Oh, it's such a dumb plan.
to pour lighter fluid out this door at the back
Yeah.
so that they light it on fire and it'll light the forest on fire.
Which will call
Which
fire
will attract
trucks.
like a fire truck. They eventually decide not to do that.
Yeah, because Seth is like, that's a fucking horrible idea. You're just going to light the building we're stuck in on fire.
Yeah. But around this point, a cop shows up.
Yep.
I don't remember if the cop showed up before they're lighting the building on fire plan or after. Might have been after.
I think it was after.
Yeah, I think it was. But cop shows up, and she's standing on one side of the door,
Yeah.
pointing a gun at Dennis.
Yep.
And, Seth and Paulie are off to the side, and she's trying to bring him in.
Yep.
It's like, I got you at gunpoint, surrender or whatever. And everyone's yelling at her to, like, go back in her car.
Get in your car.
Like, you're not safe. Go somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, what happens, Bob?
Okay. This is the moment of the movie where I literally, like, my jaw dropped and I didn't speak for about 5 minutes.
Now, before Bob explains this, Lacey had at this point disappeared onto the roof of the gas station.
Yes. She had stopped beating on the front window and then got on the roof and they could hear her up there. So we as an audience are aware that she is on the roof.
Mm-hmm.
This cop is not. So the cop is standing there and Lacey and fucking Seth are like, call it in. Like, go to your car and call this in. And she's like, I'm not going anywhere. I'm calling this in right here.
I'm going to get you out of here.
Yeah, I'm going to save you. Which, like, good on you, cop. You think you're doing a good thing, but goddamn, you're stupid. So she goes over there because, like, 514, calling in, blah, 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 and no one answers. So she does it again. No one answers. She does it one more time, and as she's doing it for this last time, I think it's a pair of legs.
She doesn't do it 3 times, Bob.
Does
she
she not
gets
get 3?
halfway through one. She doesn't even get through the
No,
call.
she gets through 2.
No.
Because she gets a 1 call in, and no one answers, so she does it again. Because she
Maybe.
sounds panicked, and is like, 514 calling in. Anyone there?
Maybe you're right.
I think it's a pair of legs come off the roof and fucking wrap around her, and I don't know how it. I guess it.
I don't know. Part of Lacey comes down from the roof,
Part of Lacey. I don't know what
grabs
part.
her, starts pulling her upwards,
Yes.
and rips her in half.
Rips her completely in half, and you get to see the whole thing. It's heinous. Because you see, I think the worst part is the flesh tear, like the flesh rip on the front. It's really bad.
But
it's really, really bad.
It lifts this cop's top half
Up onto the roof.
and her bottom half just drops onto the ground.
Yeah, I think one of my favorite parts about that practical is when you finally get it's like pulling, and the snap blood goes.
Yeah.
It nails the window where the camera's shooting from, and it looks so
It's pretty
cool.
But yeah, I think it's at this point that they go and try their fire plan.
It might be.
Because Seth's yelling at him a lot to like, this is stupid. And then he goes back into the front and hears the radio going.
Oh, yeah.
And because the cop's radio is still on her belt.
Yeah.
And he's like, we'll get that and we'll call.
Yeah.
And he comes up with the plan. Instead of going outside, there's some T-shirts in this gas station.
Yeah.
And they'll undo the wire coat hangers and use them to grab the thing.
Because there's like a I don't know how else to describe it, but like when you go to like a Kroger to get gas or whatever, and there's like the attendant in the window. There's like one of those windows with like a slit on the bottom.
Yeah,
where they could put the wire
nighttime.
Yeah.
When you're worried about robbers, so you can lock the building.
Yeah.
But they basically wire out with this thing. They pick up the
receiver.
The receiver, which is on one of those stretchy wires, and they pull it to this little change thing. And right as Seth sticks his hand out to grab it, Lacey drops down
from the roof.
Ugh. Now, here's the fun part. We had cut to a scene before of Lacey on the roof shooting out like little wires from her body and dragging in
half
the top of the
the
sheriff's
top half of the
body
cop.
and fusing with it. It looks like something out of The Thing.
Yeah.
I love it.
I didn't even think about that. It does.
Yeah, it reminds me of have you ever seen The Thing? I think Bob's seen it.
I've seen it. That's why. That's why when you just said that, my brain went, "Oh,
when
yeah."
the thing's assimilating things, especially you see it a lot in the dog scene.
Oh,
it
yeah.
shoots out these little wires, and it's kind of like that, where it's dragging things closer to it.
Yep.
But it fuses with the sheriff's top half,
Yeah.
And now it's this weird monster thing.
It's a weird monster
So-
with two tops, kind of flailing
This-
around,
Weird monster drops down.
and starts trying to grab Seth through the hole by sticking its arm through.
Yeah. And Seth, eventually the wire on the radio breaks,
Yeah.
but the thing's still trying to get its hand through this hole,
Yeah.
slicing its flesh off, and eventually
it's
the
so
arm
gross, dude.
breaks off and falls inside.
Yeah.
And yeah, this is where the second hand comes from,
Another friend.
because this hand is
It's more like forearm down.
yeah, it's basically the hand all the way up to I think basically the elbow
Yeah. It's like that's about it.
with the bone hanging out.
Yeah.
And Seth and Paulie have run over to the corner and are hiding.
Yeah.
They don't know where Dennis went.
Yeah.
But the hand basically uses its bone at the end as like a tripod, and then
Yeah.
its handy bits
To drag itself.
to walk, and then to also like kind of poke around with its finger,
Ugh.
and it starts charging at him. So they have to fight it off
Using baskets.
in a bat. But then Dennis opens one of the refrigerators he's hiding in. He's like, "Come on inside, hurry!
Yeah.
Don't let it touch you with its splinters. That's how it gets you." So they run in there, and this is the reveal to Paulie and Seth that Dennis has been infected.
Yeah.
Because we got a reveal earlier. We
Mhm.
slowly see like these black lines forming on his hand.
Mm-hmm.
But the big one is he was getting a wire hang for
Yeah, because they had
Seth.
when they were attempting to get the receiver from the cop's belt, they didn't have enough wire coat hangers, so Seth was like, "Hey, can you give us another one?" And he like walks over there, and they don't see this, but we do. He goes to grab it, and his hand like twists the wrong way, and then one of his fingers bends completely backwards.
It breaks.
It like snaps, and they're like, "Oh, are you like what happened to your coat?" He goes, "Oh, I cut myself on a coat hanger,"
Yeah,
and
and
then
he
he hands
wraps
it to
his
him.
hand with one of the shirts.
Yeah.
But they're in their fridge and they're talking, and you can tell Dennis has kind of figured stuff out. He's like, the splinters, that's how they get you. But he's also like, step away from the glass, it'll stop seeing you,
Mm-hmm.
which it does. And at this point, Dennis's arm starts to freak out because the infection's kind of all the way up of it.
Yeah.
And then his arm really starts freaking out. Like it goes the wrong way at the elbow
Completely backwards.
as it tries to attack
Paulie and Seth.
Paulie and Seth. And they eventually come up with the idea of cutting it off. And it is uncomfortable.
It's rough. It's so rough.
Because Dennis eventually, he's out of it from the pain. So he's just kind of slumped against the wall. And Seth gets Paulie to wrap his arm with a thick blanket
Yeah.
so it can't get them with its splinters. And then he tourniquets his arm with like a piece of plastic.
Yep.
And all they have in the room is a box cutter.
It's fucking heinous.
So they circle his arm with the box cutter. Can't get through the bone. So
Yeah.
they get a cinder block and break it off.
Yeah, they put it over a ledge and break his arm off at the bone with a cinder block. Fucking brutal, man.
Yeah.
God.
Then they get to talking. There's some character reveal stuff.
Yeah, they talk about a little bit of something.
We're not going to talk about that. I think
Nah, I think we can leave it.
it gives some depth, I think, to Dennis's character.
Yeah.
Like, you still don't have to like him.
I still don't like him, but it doesn't
Bob
help.
still doesn't like. But it's kind of the reveal that he's not two-dimensional.
No.
He's more complex than, I'm just a violent meth head,
Yeah.
which I liked.
It helps. It
think
made
that-
the film more enjoyable.
But I also think that's a spot of realism.
Sure.
Yeah. But here they basically realize that the creatures see with heat. That's why the thing stopped paying attention to them while they were in the fridge because it was cold
Yeah.
in there. And they basically come up with this plan to super chill Seth's body so he can walk out to the cop car outside.
Yeah, and try and either make a call on the radio or just kind of get out of there.
And they do that.
Yeah, they they sit him on a bunch of bags of ice in the freezer until his body gets to, I think it's below 90.
It's 89 or something.
Yeah.
Because Seth knows off the top of his head like what temperature your body has to be at before it's a medical emergency.
Yeah.
It's something in Celsius, but it's roughly like 89.4
Or something like
Fahrenheit. And so they get him down to that because ambient temperature outside
that.
is
It's like 88.
96.7
Oh, yeah.
or something like that. Which I think that he makes a fun joke about.
Global warming in July.
Yeah, heat in July because of global warming. But he eventually goes outside, barely moving because he's so cold.
Frozen solid.
And he gets to the car. And while he's doing this, they've lured the creature away to the back of the building with fireworks.
Fireworks,
'Cause
yeah.
it's attracted the heat. And basically he gets in the car. There's no keys. Can't
Nope.
get the radio going.
Nothing is on.
And eventually the creature stops paying attention to the fireworks.
Yeah, it doesn't give a fuck about those anymore because his heat is rising because A, he's outside,
Yeah.
and also he spilled his ice everywhere.
But also just because the human body
Yeah,
is sufficient.
it's heating him back up basically.
I think the creature stops paying attention to the fireworks because it realizes it's not alive.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like, the creature's not smart. It's just responding to, I'm attracted to heat.
Yeah,
But I think it's developed enough to realize something's too hot to be alive.
Maybe.
Well, I think that's what happens. I think the fireworks go off long enough that it heats up the temperature there
I
to
see.
fire temperatures and not like warm body temperatures.
Yeah.
And so the thing's no longer attracted to it.
Makes sense.
I think that's what happens. But yeah, the thing walks over to the car eventually.
Start
'Cause
slamming on it, trying
My
to get
guess
in.
is it can also probably sense movement some.
Probably. Assumedly.
Because we see when things get close to it, the splinters vibrate.
They react, yeah.
My guess is it can probably also feel like vibrations a little bit.
Probably.
Probably not as well as heat, but
Yeah.
But his temperature's still lower than ambient temperature.
Oh, yeah.
But Dennis comes outside with a firework to lure.
The creature away to allow the escape of Seth from this cop car.
Well, the firework's a dud.
Yeah.
And so instead of running at the firework that Dennis throws, it runs at him.
Yep.
He gets inside, but not before the creature also gets inside.
Yeah, which is super cool. Because this is the first time we've actually seen the creature get into the gas station the whole fucking movie.
It looks so rad.
It looks fucking awesome, man. It's so cool. And, like, the lights are flickering, and it's, like, smashing into shit and, like, knocking over shelves and stuff.
Yeah, but Dennis and Paulie are trying to fight it off. And at this point, Seth has grabbed a shotgun.
From the back of the cop car.
And he runs in and starts shooting this thing. He runs in, starts blasting. And, yeah, that happens. The building at this point is now on fire.
Yeah, because...
One of the fireworks set off the lighter fluid they were using for their original plan. That Seth was like, it's stupid because it'll set the building on fire.
And it does.
It does. While they're fighting, Seth managed, I think, to blast the arm thing.
Yeah, I think he literally, like, hits the extra hand that was running around and shoots it, and it flings it, like, gets flung into the fire and burned up.
I thought it might have jumped.
No, I'm pretty sure
But
it got hit by the shotgun.
It must
like,
have got blasted.
Yeah.
With that, I will say, the fact that it doesn't jump into the fire, I think tells me that it can differentiate fire from people.
Yeah, because assumedly the creature would go, oh, that's too hot.
Yeah. What I was going to say is if it's attracted to heat, it would have jumped in the fire itself.
Yeah.
That's why I thought it jumped into the fire. But if we're assuming it got blasted in there. But yeah, basically, Dennis takes the shotgun from Seth and it's like, go get out of here.
Mm-hmm. So cool because he only has one hand. So he's one-handed pumping it and one-handed firing it. It's super cool.
But he runs out of bullets.
So then he starts loading it with his mouth.
No, he runs out of bullets, and then he gets body checked by the creature.
Oh, yeah.
Gets a bunch of splinters in his, like, neck, but manages to get away. Starts loading it with his mouth.
Yeah.
And the creature's coming at him, and he shoots the gas pump.
Diesel.
Well, it's a diesel pump, yes.
Yeah.
But it's a gas pump. It's just called a gas pump.
Yeah.
He shoots the diesel gas pump.
Yeah.
It explodes all over the creature. This is the only point we see really noticeable CGI.
Yeah.
Is we get a full view of the creature. It's CGI because most of the time we're only seeing like half of it.
Yeah.
Because it's a bodysuit. But then they light it on fire. And that's a flame suit, though.
Yeah. Which was really cool. I think it still looked good.
Because it was an actual fire stunt. And those are always cool.
Yeah, but also, like, the creature's already so big that the suit didn't really make a difference in its, like, size or anything like that.
Yeah.
Like, it still looked the same way. It was just on fire now.
Yeah,
right?
Sometimes you can tell it's a fire suit. You couldn't really tell there.
No, yeah.
I was just like, that's a real fire stunt, which was good to see.
It was real cool.
And, yeah, at this point, Dennis is on the ground. 'Cause
Yeah.
he knows he's not going to make it.
Polly and Seth come back.
To check on him, and he's like, I'm not going to make it.
Yeah, I think he jokingly says, "What are you gonna cut off now, Doc?"
He does. It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
But he sends him on the way, and he basically loads the shotgun one last time and blasts the propane tanks of the whole place.
Yeah, and blows the whole gas station sky high.
And, then we see Seth and Polly walking into the sunset, and it cuts to one final scene of a dead fox near a tree with a ton of splinters coming out of its mouth.
So, problem not solved. They just don't have to deal with it anymore.
Yeah, they escaped.
Yeah,
but this
still a
thing's
problem
out there.
Super cool.
Well, I will say, end credits, super stylized, super
Yeah,
cool.
they were cool. That was cool. I like the music, too.
But yeah, that's basically what happens in the movie. We left out some stuff. That was
Yeah, I think we can leave that out because if someone got to this point and hasn't seen it, that's just some cool character stuff.
There's some cool character stuff we left out. I'd still go watch it because most of it is just kind of how the practical effects work.
Yeah, I agree.
The coolest thing in that movie, though, is when the hand is moving.
Oh, it's
Jesus
so
Christ.
good.
It's stop motion,
Mm-hmm.
which looks jittery. But
Yeah.
I think it matches how the creature moves.
Exactly.
But I always love stop motion as an animation style. It's very out of practice nowadays.
Yeah.
But I love seeing old like stuff from the 70s and earlier where they have to do creatures like that.
Yeah, it's
Um,
definitely really cool.
Saw you about it, Bob, the other day. I watched Caveman. It has Ringo Starr in it.
Oh,
as the
yeah.
main
Yeah, we
character.
talked about it.
Super odd comedy movie, if anyone's ever seen it, because there's basically no talking in it.
Yeah.
Like, or understandable English in it. Instead, it's like a made-up caveman language the whole time. But they have dinosaurs in it, and they're all animated with claymation.
It's really
I just
cool.
love it. But I guess I have some discussion points for us.
Yeah.
So, Wilkins, if you remember who that is. That's
The director.
the director, yep. His goal was to create horror through a creature that both allowed characters to briefly fight its control, which we see with Dennis,
Yeah, we do.
and one that abuses the host's body,
It definitely does that.
specifically the bones, due to the ignorance of proper function. So we were kind of talking about this earlier, but the creature reanimates dead things. And it's kind of limited to how that dead thing's body works.
Yeah.
Sort of. So it would move the host's body, and it would use the bones as structural support.
Yeah.
But it would sometimes bend the
bone's the wrong way.
not the bones, but the joints the wrong way.
Oh, yeah.
It looks very interesting.
It's really, really wild
Like,
looking.
It's not only jerky, like the creatures in some stage of rigor mortis, but it's just when things bend the wrong way, it's unpleasant looking.
Yeah, it just feels so unnatural. Like I could definitely feel like it was making me uncomfortable watching it manipulate these people's bodies in this absolutely fucking horrific way.
Like you said, it kind of reminds you of those Korean zombie movies.
Yeah.
So that style of zombie is inspired by Train to Busan, which we'll
Mhm.
watch at some point. And then if I remember correctly, the style, like the way those zombies move, is inspired by that death dance thing I was talking about in the movie we watched.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Which that movie's coming out tomorrow, so we're not going to tell you what the name of it is.
No, I'm not going
but,
to tell you. Very good episode, very good movie.
Basically, that style is kind of you're jerky almost because like rigor mortis, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of how these creatures move, but I think a lot of their jerkiness comes from they have like a fungus moving them,
Yeah.
and it's not moving things how a proper body should move. It's just kind of forcing things to.
Yeah.
That's why things bend the wrong way, and it's freaky looking.
Yeah, and I think that's also why like a lot of the scariness of this creature is just the brute fucking force of it. And
Yeah.
like how dangerous it becomes when you realize what the splinters do.
Yeah, I mean, I think the scariest thing about it is you realize how strong it can be because it forces things to move.
Yeah, it doesn't give a fuck. It's not
Weirdly.
restrained by like, oh, my arm shouldn't bend that way. It's like, oh no, I'm just gonna put my full force and weight and smash my skull into this window till it shatters.
Well, that's one of the interesting things. Her neck's broken.
Oh,
That's how she died.
It's limp.
But the thing's like picking up her body and slamming her head on the wall like it's a flail.
Yeah.
In a similar vein, the creature can move when body parts are cut off.
Oh
That's
yeah.
super cool.
That is really cool.
It does seem to be somewhat limited to, I think, muscles, though.
Yeah.
I think the creature's relying on muscles because when it's just a 3-finger hand thing, it can barely stand
Yeah.
and it can't really move or balance.
Mm-hmm.
However, when it's the hand with the most of the forearm, it can move pretty well because there's
Yeah.
all the muscles there. But yeah, I just want to mention that. It's a very interesting creature because it's based on bone structure and how that works.
Yeah, I think it's a really, really cool creature.
To give it some creepy movement stuff.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, it's constantly digesting its host,
Yeah.
which is something to keep in mind because the thing that we see originally, the I Love Bikinis guy,
Yeah.
the car attendant, when he gets possessed, he dies on the hood of the car.
Yeah.
Not because he shot or anything, but I think his body just gives out because
Yeah.
it's been so digested.
Mm-hmm.
Because we saw him get infected, I think in the morning.
Yeah,
and
like
it's
the
nighttime
morning.
when this happens.
Yeah, and it's like daybreak by the time we get to the end. Almost.
So apparently, I think the splinters eat through you very fast.
Mm-hmm.
So, something to say. Also, they don't kill you when they eat you.
No.
He's alive.
No, he's alive when.
Until the thing starts moving him. And then
Yeah.
it kills him.
Yeah, because of course that would fucking kill you. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but
Like, ooh.
so it doesn't outright kill you, the infection.
No, because the longer it keeps you alive, the longer your cells will try and repair themselves, and the more food it will get.
I just figured it was more because the process of digestion doesn't outright kill you. Like, I don't think it's on purpose. I think it's just you can live a while you're getting eaten alive.
Oh, God.
So, I think the next kind of point I have is on what the creature probably is. So, Seth mentions a fungus, right?
Yeah.
I think I have to agree with him. My guess, cordyceps.
Okay, well,
you know that
what,
word?
What do you...
What?
all the cordyceps talk right now because of The Last of Us just came out. Like
well,
the show.
you recognize it. Yeah,
Yeah.
what's a cordyceps, Bob?
Oh, it's a fungus that takes over ants, usually.
Sort of. There's a subspecies of certain cordyceps. You might know it as the zombie ant fungus, but basically it'll infect an ant.
Yeah.
It can mess with an ant's brain chemistry, cause it to behave certain ways while it's alive,
Yeah.
and it basically can control the ant until it eventually kills the ant because it'll have it go somewhere high up, and then it'll burst out of the ant's head with its
Spores.
with the sexual part, the mushroom part.
Yeah.
And that spores.
Releases them into the wind.
My guess is the thing does behave like kind of looks like a fungus.
Yeah.
The splinters to me look like the fruit-bearing part of a fungus. Not looks like, but they behave like it.
Yeah.
Because the whole organism itself is the black goo. We see
Yeah.
the black goo moving.
Oh, yeah.
And it would make sense for the splinters to kind of be the fruit-bearing part that pops out. Because that's how it wants to reproduce.
That makes sense.
Also, funguses, what do they have in them? They have something really hard in them
Oh,
as a structural tissue.
I know what you're talking about, but off the top of my head, I can't remember.
But
Oh
that
my
could explain
God.
why they're so strong and strong enough to, like, punch through
Yeah.
flesh and stuff. Anyways, I think it's probably a fungus. And if
Probably.
I had to guess, it's probably a cordyceps, which obviously mainstream we know is the creature in The Last of Us.
Yeah.
But part of the reason I think it's a cordyceps,
Sure.
and I think this is hinted at in the movie, is because that thing's probably from Earth. That is probably not an alien or something.
Oh, no, yeah. It's definitely just like a natural occurring thing.
Do you know why?
No.
Like why this? Because if it's a natural occurring thing, why are we just seeing it now? Because it's super infectious.
Well, I mean, they bring up global warming.
Wow, yeah, but they're in the middle of
Yeah.
Oklahoma or whatever.
Because, I mean, that's like the talking point, or that's what like the theory of is in The Last of Us, is that global warming caused it to get hot enough that,
Ice, right?
no.
No?
Basically, cordyceps already existed, and the reason they couldn't transfer to humans is because it wasn't
the body temperature thing.
the body temperature. But now the cordyceps is evolving because of global warming, and now it can survive in these climates, so it's moving on to bigger hosts.
Yeah, well, that's not the reason here, because
Okay.
that's not how this thing works.
Interesting.
Because this thing's fucking Splinter that goes in you.
Yeah.
Like it's evolved around doing this to living things.
Yeah, sure.
Have you figured out why?
No, I want you to tell me.
Okay. For half a second, we see a sign that says experimental oil drilling.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that might explain why it's black.
This thing was probably in the oil they were drilling up, and they accidentally dug it up,
Ew.
and now it's out in the open.
Oh, my God.
My guess is it's probably a really, really old life form.
That would
and
make
it was
sense.
dormant underground for a while.
And then when they dug it up, it allowed itself to escape.
It became active again.
That explains it. That makes sense, actually, because don't they have samples of the bubonic plague and stuff? Or not the
Well,
plague.
the bubonic plague's still going around.
Not the
You can still get it
oh,
nowadays.
God. No, they have like samples of like some really old diseases that are like frozen in ice in like some lab somewhere or something.
Sometimes. I mean, I think the takeaway is some things can survive for long periods of time.
Oh, for
dormant,
sure, yeah.
That to me makes
Especially
sense.
like single cell organisms. You
Yeah.
know, like the what is it called, a water bear? Those things are fucking indestructible. They send those bitches to space and they come back fine.
Yeah, and then they only live for like 10 hours.
Yeah, but I mean, still, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
But I think that's on purpose. That's my fun fan theory, is that it's cordyceps. But I think it's because they do imply in the film that it's probably a fungus.
Yeah.
Seth says it a couple times. But I do legitimately think that it's intended as it was this thing underground that they dug up. Because it makes no sense otherwise to include that scene with
Well, no, because
the
Dennis
experimental oil
mentions it.
drilling.
Dennis brings it up.
What?
Dennis mentions, hey, I know there's an oil field on the side of the other side of that forest. If we light this bitch is gonna go sky
Yeah.
high.
Okay, fair enough.
So that's why they bring it up. It's like, oh, it'll cause an explosion. People will come.
I guess. But I
But
think the thing was
it
probably
makes
underground.
It makes more sense, like for the context of like showing the sign and labeling it as experimental.
Because there's that
You know
whole
what I
rule of
mean?
if you show something in a film, it has to make sense.
Yes,
And I think that's the only thing that would make that make sense as an inclusion.
sure. And I think including the line like makes it feel more what's the word? Grounded in like reality. Like,
Reality, yeah.
yeah, because Dennis would be aware of that.
Because
You know
if
what
you're
I
going
mean?
to say it's a fungus, you need some reason that, like, hey, why haven't we seen this before?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not like the cordyceps in The Last of Us are more reminiscent of, like, zombie ants.
Yeah.
This thing is wild.
Oh, it's
Like,
whack.
those spores are horrifying. We
Yeah.
even see it for a second. I think it shoots them out at the sheriff.
It does. You're right. It absolutely
Unless they
flings
just
one of the sheriff.
fell out, but I think it shoots a bunch.
It flung one right into the
Um,
sheriff's neck. It's the first thing that happens to her. Because it
Thing's
flings one,
scary.
hits her in the neck, and then blood trickles down from the top, and then she gets grabbed by a pair of legs.
I don't know if you saw this. It shot her with the splinters, and
Yeah.
then they slithered into her face. Like, they got sucked in.
I
Like, they
did
disappeared.
not
she
see
rubbed
that.
her face, and they weren't there anymore because they just went floop
Oh,
inside of her.
heinous. Absolutely fucking heinous.
Yeah, my last note was I just wanted to bring up the fact that thing seems reminiscent of the thing from
Yeah.
the thing.
It had even crossed my mind, honestly, when we were
It's-
watching it.
It's mostly the whole thing with the strings that come out to
Mhm.
drag it closer.
Makes total sense.
I'm not sure if that was deserved. I thought it was a very cool scene.
It's a very, very
and I
cool
like
scene.
that the thing can combine different dead bodies.
Because it makes sense, in my
Sort
opinion.
of. It doesn't match up with the creature throughout the rest of it. Like before that, all we see is that it can reanimate corpses.
Yeah.
That's the only time we see it kind of assimilate stuff.
Yeah.
There's nothing that tells me it can't. I don't know if it was deserved, I guess. They made it work. It was super cool.
I don't know. I don't know if it was deserved, but it wasn't it did not
It
make
wasn't
sense.
undeserved. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. But I was just like,
I think the inclusion of it makes the creature scarier
it does.
because now, it's a body and then a half body.
Yeah.
And it makes the creature more intimidating too, I think. 'Cause
I
it's
like
bigger.
the inclusion of it. I'm just not sure. Like, it stood out to me, and I wasn't sure if it was like this is super cool, but does it work,
I think it's fine.
I mean, it's fine. Of course it's fine. It's super cool. I like it.
Yeah.
It allows for the super cool monster. It was just, there was nothing to show me it could do that before. I'm just
Yeah, there
gonna
was no
mention it.
setup or build up to it. It just kind of did it. But also, I think
And that's fine if it was early in the movie, but it was halfway through. So,
fair.
just going to mention it. But yeah, that's all I really got there.
Yeah, I think so too. I think
Super cool creature. Good
Yeah.
FX and creature design.
God, it's so cool.
Especially for something that's just splinters and
It's
black
it,
goo.
man. It's so simple but so cool. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. It's really hard for me to grasp.
What
and
was your
explain.
favorite monster throughout the whole movie? I know mine.
It's the big one.
Really?
Yeah, I just think the big one looks so cool.
Mine's the hand.
The hands are really cool, and I knew you were gonna say that. I enjoy the hands, and I think they're really cool for practicals. I like the way they made them move. I like the skittering. I just find that the big monster is more intimidating, and I think it's more fun.
The big monster's more intimidating. I think the hands are scarier.
The hands are definitely
Because
scary.
they hide.
They hide, yeah, and they'll scuttle. Ugh, ooh.
They hide. They can move fairly fast, which was surprising.
Yeah, they're quick.
But I don't know if you could tell. The big thing didn't have a lot of spines on it. The hands were covered in them.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Rex Bob, what are your recommendations?
If you listen, I know I did not enjoy the last quote unquote Parasite movie we watched.
Oh, The Bay?
The Bay. It was it's a good movie. It was fine. I had a bad time. This one, very cool, very fun. If you want a cool, fun Parasite movie, watch this.
Yeah, what did you think? Because I try to mix things
No,
up.
this was great.
You weren't expecting this style of Parasite
No, it was
movie.
really cool. It was super cool. I had a fucking blast. I like this movie a lot.
Yeah, it's
actually.
pretty high energy most of the time.
It's high energy and
The
in the
characters
way that
don't do anything that's too stupid either.
no, like it. It feels I could suspend my disbelief enough for this movie,
All right.
if that makes sense. And I think if you want a good I think this is a good creature movie.
Yeah.
I think this is a great creature movie. Like I think the effects on the creature look good. The creature is fun while also being gross and like scary. I think that's my biggest one is if you want a really cool creature movie or if you want I think it's a good spin on parasites.
Yeah,
I think it's a
different.
very interesting spin because and this is something I wanted to talk about. I think the fact that they kept the number of infected people so low and did not do cuz you could have easily taken this movie concept and done like a zombie horde style movie,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
But keeping it low monster count is so much worse.
I think it's a thing where
It's so cool.
the less monsters you have, the more intimidating they have to be because
Yes.
you can't deal with them quickly.
Exactly. And I think that's really cool.
So your recommendation is creature features.
Creature feature, cool spin on parasites. Yeah, that's it.
All right. Mine, here we have. If you want to see something different from the zombie genre,
Yes,
that's where I'd go.
That's a big
Because
one.
that's basically what this is, the zombies.
Yeah, it's zombies
Um,
but with a cool spin that
you're-
I like.
If you're into special, like practical effects,
Yeah, it's really good, man.
pretty good on that. If you want to see an interesting creature feature, because the thing in this is not like a traditional creature,
No.
but it's
very unique,
cool,
and it's very
it
cool.
eventually becomes like a monster mash where it's this weird body thing hanging around.
Yeah.
But also, if you just want kind of like a high energy siege style movie,
Yeah.
that'd be my big recommendation. It's like 3 people
Mhm.
trying to survive together against a thing, and it's how do we figure out how to do this?
It's very cool.
Like the monster outside technically probably could have been anything.
Yeah.
And it's really held together with how these people behave. It seems realistic. I can get behind most of what they're doing. I'm not like, you guys are being stupid.
Yeah.
And that's hard to come by.
Yeah.
Ratings.
Ooh. See, I don't know. 4. Yeah, 4. Yeah, I liked it. I liked it a lot. It was a lot of things that I already knew I liked, but with interesting, unique take on them. So I think a 4 is pretty good for me.
Okay.
How do you feel? Because you seem hesitant to give me an answer now that I gave mine.
I think I'm going to go with a 3.5.
I almost said 3.5. I was close, but I teetered over the edge.
Because, like, I'm going to break down my scale like I always do. 3 for me is like it came up with this concept and it meets expectations, right?
Yeah.
And 4 is like it goes above and beyond those expectations, right?
Sure.
Kind of does more with them than I would expect.
Mm-hmm.
This movie, I think it basically meets my expectations exactly how I want it to.
Sure.
The thing that kind of gets it a little bit above that is the FX. They're really great. You know,
Yeah.
the creature stuff and just how unique it is.
That was my big thing that pushed it
really,
over for
really
me,
unique.
Is it's such a unique take on a Parasite and or zombie style movie.
However, there's not a lot of other substance. Like, it's well acted and everything, but there's not enough for me to like really feel like it got pushed to that range.
Really?
Yeah, because like when I get a 4, I want it to be something a little bit more. It's not a perfect movie, but there's more depth than that should be in there. And this one has, it did a lot with the concept, and it did it really, really well. But I think there were still some problems there.
Yeah. And I agree, there are some problems. I think while the like jump cut style of cinematography they use for like the shots of the creature makes sense for what you're trying to do, and you're trying to mimic the movement of the creature and how it interacts, but it makes it really hard to follow sometimes and hard to see what's going on.
That's a good point. Like jump cuts, I think that was a budget restriction thing.
Yeah.
For the big creature, we don't get to see it a lot.
Yeah, it's
so
what we do see of it is brief.
I didn't really get what it looked like. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
Like I had an idea of it in my head, but we didn't really see it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess that's just me. 3 out of 5. 3.5.
Yeah, and I mean, like I said, the big thing for me is that it completely subverted my expectations.
Yeah, I
mean,
mean,
it was nothing like what I expected it to be like, and I thought that was so fucking cool.
maybe that's part of it. I knew what we were doing going into it.
Yeah.
So I don't have that subversion. I feel like it could have done things just a little bit more to get a 4.
It could have.
I understand maybe those things are due to budget restrictions and stuff like that, but we can go 3 out of 5. 3.5.
Yeah, I highly recommend this movie. I liked it a lot. This is
good recommendation.
This is a good one.
Yeah.
This is a good movie. I'm honestly surprised it has such a low audience rating when we talked about that.
Maybe. I mean, I can get why you might not be into the audience rating, because like it's pretty fast paced.
It is.
For a Parasite movie?
Oh, it's really fast for a Parasite movie.
But for a zombie movie, it's kind of slow.
That's fair.
I mean, because it's mostly them cowering inside.
Yeah.
And I can see why you might not like that.
That's fair.
I can see why critics liked it. What was it, a 76?
Yeah.
So
I think I'm finding that whenever we watch movies, a lot of the slower, more character-driven movies get lower audience scores.
They do.
Because I feel like a lot of people watch horror for the shock and awe.
I'm gonna put this out here. Ashley's more in line with the average audience viewer.
That's true, actually. Yeah.
The person
I
we've
agree.
had on this podcast, Ashley, if you haven't seen that episode. But
yeah,
a lot of people just want a thriller kind of horror movie where it's entertaining, scary, it's fun. And we tend to view this more as critics, which
means we're kind of into slower movies sometimes.
That's what we do. We're essentially horror movie critics now. So
don't say that yet. We're
well,
not no official title.
Not
or
like good ones, but we're criticizing horror movies. That's by definition.
Okay, that's fair. We're not good though. We're not good ones.
We're not very good ones, but we're doing it.
It's true.
And we can sit here and break down and appreciate artsy stuff. That's kind of what we have to do. But yeah, I don't know. That's all I got here.
That's all I got.
It's a fun Parasite movie.
It's really fun.
Go check it out.
Oh, hold on. Before we go, sorry. This is a bit of an aside. So in the pre-movie, you may have heard me saying, "Man, I think I know what this movie is." I was thinking the movie Splice.
Yeah.
Not Splinter. Different movie.
Splice is weird.
I've seen the trailer. It looks weird. I don't want to watch that. It kind of freaks me out.
I guess we'll go to the post now.
Well, you mean the outtakes?
Well, yeah, we'll go to the outtakes, but
No,
we'll go to the post.
We will see you after the outtakes. Goodbye.
The wrap up.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the outtake section for this episode of Beware the Board. I hope you're enjoying the episode so far. I had an absolute blast with this movie. I think it's so cool, unique, and fun. Without further ado, let's get into the outtakes for this episode. This first outtake is our reaction to the cold open, where a raccoon covered in splinters murders a man wearing an I Heart Bikinis hat. What does his hat say? Does it say I Heart Bikinis?
I think so. I wasn't really paying attention, but I've seen it before, so.
I'm watching. I just couldn't read.
Yeah, I heard bikinis.
I can already tell this movie's going to fuck me up.
No. You're going to like it. All right, we're ready? You ready for your first Parasite movie, Bob?
Mm-mm.
This will set the tone for all Parasite movies to come after.
I'm scared, man. I'm scared because I kind of already know what's going to happen.
Well, you know what, but not how.
That's what I mean.
And I think the how's the worst part. I'm going to be honest.
I think I understand how it works too, but I don't want to say that yet because I could be wrong.
I don't think you understand exactly how.
Oh my God! What the fuck? Oh no, dude! What the hell? That's like a rabid possum or something.
Nah, it's a raccoon.
What the fuck?
Splinter.
Oh my god.
Did you understand what was gonna happen there?
What in the goddamn?
What in the same hell?
Okay, not what I expected. I lie.
I was like, I don't think you're expecting what's gonna happen in this movie.
I didn't know there were going to be raccoons assaulting a man. This next clip is our reaction to the discovery of the I Heart Bikini Man's body in the bathroom, as well as the death of Lacey. Dude, she's trying so hard to piss in this bathroom.
I would be too if I really had to go.
Yep, there's his corpse. That's fucking foul. Oh!
The body's a little fucked up.
Uh-huh. Here he comes. Oh, this is this is Abahu. Oh, well, she's knocked out. Oh my god, he looks crazy.
Yeah.
This next clip is our reaction to seeing one of our first smaller friends of the movie, as one of Lacey's hands is chopped off in the door as she's attempting to pull Dennis out and eat him. Oh! Oh! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no no no! That is not a good Oh my god! That's fucking heinous, Benjamin.
I think it's super cool. That's what I thought the poster was.
Oh my fuck! Oh, how did they fucking do that?
Good creature FX.
Oh, he smashed it with a bag of charcoal. What the fuck, dude? This next clip is our reaction to watching the cop get ripped completely in half by Lacey from on top of the roof. Oh, she's about to get fucking annihilated, bro.
No.
Oh! Oh, it's already on her. Oh, there she. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh. Oh my Jesus Christ. Oh!
You got a really ladylike scream there at the end.
Oh!
He did take half of her. Very good man.
That fucking thing just ripped that cop in half. Oh my god. This next clip is a short conversation Ben and I had during the movie about where's the Lorax in all of this mess?
Hey, Bob. Where's the Onceler when you need him?
Where's the what?
The Onceler? Not the Onceler.
The Lorax?
Yeah.
I don't know. You think he got by the you think the Lorax is infected? Probably.
Maybe it wasn't a raccoon. Maybe it was the Lorax.
This next clip is our reaction to seeing our other small friend in this movie. Another hand from the creature has made its way inside and is attempting to infect and/or devour the people.
Seth, don't peek around the corner.
Oh!
Oh, look, it's kind of got like
Oh!
in the eggs.
It looks nuts. Oh! Punt that bitch! It's just a goddamn hand! Just kick it! That works, actually. Throw shit at it. That will work. It's small. Oh, god damn. This looks so cool.
It looks real cool. I mean, it's practical effects, and if you don't like practical effects, you know.
Like, yeah, it looks a little cheesy, but also, like, holy shit, that looks really good.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's good practical effects. It just...
Are they climbing in the freezers?
It's a fridge. Go. Dude, go. Stop with the hand. It wants you.
I know. That's what I'm
It's gonna
like.
stick you if you don't go.
Yeah, fuck off, hand.
I think it's like stop motion.
It is stop motion. I've noticed. It looks really cool though. This next clip is our reaction to watching Polly and Seth take a box cutter, cut the flesh around Dennis's infected arm, and then snap the bone off with a cinder block in order to save him from the infection.
Look, a box cutter.
What is he doing?
He's cutting it, Bob.
Oh no, with a box cutter?
With a box cutter.
You can't get all the way through. You're just gonna cut yourself. You're not actually gonna get through that. No way.
Oh, he's getting all the way through, Bob.
No way. I'm not watching that. I'm not gonna watch. Oh, okay, he stopped.
You're right. He can't get all the way through with a box cutter. That's you.
They're doing their best.
You know how you make a tourniquet?
Kinda.
So you tie something around, and then you get a stick in there, and you have to twist it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. No, yeah, don't worry. Just cutting your arm with a box cutter.
Well, he was trying to do it, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Someone's gotta do
It's
it.
fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine.
I like how he's going all the way around.
How is he gonna get through the bone?
I assume he's gonna snap it.
How is he not losing more blood?
They tourniqueted it.
Oh!
Anyways, we're back from the outtakes. Hope you like those.
Yeah. It was
Hopefully Bob
good.
got some good screams in there. I know one of them, I don't know if he'll be able to clip it, but he got like a really high-pitched scream. It was very, very distinct.
scared me. I was a scared little man.
But I guess we got one big announcement for you, and that's
yeah.
the fact that this Saturday, so tomorrow,
Yeah.
on the 4th of February, our special episode where we film Something Outside the Board with Abby is coming out.
Yes. I'm so glad we watched that movie.
Yeah,
It's such a fun, good movie.
I really like that movie. I was excited to have it on the podcast.
Yeah.
So
It's good.
I hope you guys like it. I thought it turned out very well.
I think it's shaped up to be a pretty good episode.
But, check that out tomorrow. Think that's our only major kind of exciting thing. I will say, hope you liked that surprise episode yesterday.
Yeah, we forgot to announce that we were even going to do that episode.
Last time we were recording.
Yeah, and then Ben was like, "Hey, that's coming out. Should we talk about it?" And I was like, "It already came out by the time this comes out, so no."
Yeah. So I hope you liked that movie. Just to be candid with you here, we haven't recorded it yet, so
No.
I can't say what movie it is to Bob.
I have no idea. We're recording it literally right after we finish this.
But I hope you guys liked that. I'm sure I did.
I'm sure Ben always seems to have a good time.
I have to pick them out, so
Yeah.
I try to make sure I like them. But otherwise, I don't know. I got nothing.
Yeah,
Bob.
I got it.
Bob, you just take over.
Oh my god. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at BewareTheBoard. It's where we post all the updates for the show. If you want a link to the episodes when they go live, I post it there. What's up?
When do those updates come out, Bob?
Mondays. Every Monday, I post a spoiler thing where you can see the movie we're going to watch for that week in case you want to watch it and then watch the show without getting anything spoiled.
Yeah, and if you notice he hasn't posted an update, tweet at him. Be like, where the hell's my update? And he'll go, oh, shoot, I forgot.
I do forget. It's kind of hard. Listen, all right. First of all, it's hard for me to remember because when I post the episodes, I'm usually at work.
You know what? I'm going to be honest here, Bob. We usually, here's some behind the scenes stuff. We record usually on Sundays.
Yeah.
By the time we're done recording, it's usually Monday.
Yeah.
You could just post them
After we get done, that
after
would
the
be smart.
recording. Yeah.
That would be smart. Yeah, that's, let me think. Anything else about Twitter? I post polls on Twitter if we do polls. I post anything, basically. If you want to know anything about the show, it's on our Twitter.
Yeah.
It's all there.
We're not doing any other social media right now, so.
No, we're not, because I don't feel like dealing with any of it.
Yep.
Because I have to run it myself, so,
We
no.
don't have time right now.
We really don't.
Maybe eventually. But otherwise, check us on YouTube.
Yeah, this is the only place we're at right now. We're going to be on Spotify or other podcast places eventually. We're
Yeah.
working on it. We talked about it at the top of the episode. We have concept art. We just don't have the full thing.
So whenever we get that,
When we
we'll
get
let
it,
you know. It'll
All
be
the
up
episodes
there.
will be on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor FM. Wherever you get your podcast, we will be there.
But yeah, right now, watch us on YouTube.
Yeah, that's it.
Stab that like button with all the splinters you can.
Oh, God. Ew.
Really
Ooh.
infect that bell. We'll keep you posted. But until then, see you next time.
Goodbye. And remember, always beware the board.